Everybody keeps telling me how sexy your voice is. I'm like, God.
I'm flattered. I'm blushing. So what are you smoking?
I'm smoking an All Saints cigar.
Ooh.
Dedicación.
Dedicación.
Yeah. Just like we're dedicated to this podcast.
That's right. And episode 9 is brought to you by All Saints Cigars. And the Dedicación was rated 91 on Half Wheel. And we are the first retailer in North Carolina to bring in All Saints cigars. And if you'd like to try it out, stop by Havana Phil's, Greensboro, North Carolina, on Battleground Avenue. This episode, we're going to be featuring Dewayne Washington, former NFL player, NC State alum, All-American, and just an all-around great guy. So we're super excited for that, and hope you guys enjoy.
Episode number 9.
Number 9.
Numero 9.
I'm Philip Siegel of Havana Phil Cigar Company.
And I'm Shayna Lee, the social media manager here and owner of Shayna Lee Photography.
Welcome to Behind the Smokescreens, where we give you a raw and unfiltered look at what it's like to run a business as two young entrepreneurs.
In our line of work, we have the pleasure of creating relationships with a variety of characters. Influencers, athletes, models, digital media gurus, CEOs, and industry experts. And we'll be inviting them on to share with you.
Sit back, grab a sip and a smoke as we take you behind the smokescreens. Hello, everybody. I'm Philip Siegel. This is Shayna Lee of Shayna Lee Photography. And we're here, episode 9, Behind the Smokescreens. And we have a very, very special guest. His name is Dewayne Washington.
My man.
Out of Durham, North Carolina.
That's right. Durhamite.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you so much
Thanks
for
for
having
being here
me.
with us.
It's an honor.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited
It's
to
a beautiful
dig
night.
in a little bit.
It is beautiful. I thought it was going to be a little more chilly.
No, it's excellent.
Yeah.
Great night for great drink and great smoke.
A little bourbon. It's bourbon season.
It's bourbon season all the time for me. I'm hooked.
Yeah. What are you drinking?
Old fashioned, 3 cherries.
Havana Phil smoked old fashioned.
Havana Phil smoked old fashioned.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's his go-to. 3 cherries.
What you got, Phil?
What are you smoking?
He set me up, right? You know what I'm smoking. I'm smoking your cigar.
My cigar.
Yeah.
What do you think of it?
You know, it's smooth. I mean, the first time I smoked one, I was like, you know what? Let me get I think I might have got a half a dozen to take back.
Mm-hmm.
Easy draw. I like the gauge on it. You did a good job, buddy.
Appreciate it, man.
Good smoke.
And it goes with your drink. That's why I brought it in. That's why I put my face on it. Because it goes with what I enjoy, you know?
Yes, I put my face on it.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's good.
Yeah.
Real good smoke.
But here we are. We're on Behind the Smokescreens.
Mm-hmm.
And people want to know, you know, what goes on behind your smoke screen. So first, you know, we kind of want to get to know you a little bit, figure out your background and hear where you come from.
Sure.
Professionally, and you know, how all that's going.
Well, I mean, if you want me to start from the beginning, you know, I could do that. I was born in a little small town, Georgetown, South Carolina, right in between Charleston and Myrtle Beach.
Mm-hmm.
So I was born down there, and in '75, I was 2.5 years old. We moved to Durham. My dad saw that there was going to be more opportunity in the big city.
Mm-hmm.
You know, at that time, he was thinking Durham was a big city, but
Bull
so,
City.
Yeah, the Bull City. So we moved here, and thank God we did. Who knows what would have happened if I still stayed in the Low Country, if you will. But came to Durham, and mom and dad got married very young. They didn't stay together too long, so it was just me and my mom there for quite some time till she got remarried. But I was blessed, athletically. I can remember my first one of the first presents I got from my dad was a Washington Redskins and a Dallas Cowboy jersey and a Dallas Cowboy helmet, and him taking me out back and us just running around playing. Yeah. And I fell in love with the game at that point in time. And I might have been 5 years old, 6 years old, something like that. So I started playing football, just rec league, Salvation Army, just like most kids did during that time. And like I said, I fell in love with it just from the beginning. And from middle school to junior high to high school, I just continuously did everything I could to hone in on my craft. Mm-hmm. And I was fortunate, very blessed to get a scholarship to go to NC State. So
Wolfpack in the house.
Wolfpack in the house. Gotta do that.
I gotta stop this right now because I'm a Carolina girl.
It's okay. It's okay.
I'm a Carolina girl.
You're in between
okay.
two Wolfpackers, though.
Yes, we have to have this tobacco road. My dad and my stepdad graduated from NC State, though.
Okay.
Yes, I have a lot of respect for NC State. I went to the games growing up and stuff. And,
okay. It's a different atmosphere, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot nicer from a football perspective, right?
No wine
it
and
is
cheese.
very different.
Okay.
It is very different.
No sweater vest, no wine
right,
and cheese.
Right.
You know us Carolina folks, we always have to bring up basketball.
Well, I get it.
But basketball, though.
And rightfully so. Rightfully so.
Wait till basketball season.
Right.
It's football right now. It's football right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yes, I have a lot of respect for NC State, for sure. And my parents helped me out through college and always said it was blasphemous that they had to
write that check.
Actually, they didn't write. My stepdad wouldn't write a check to Carolina.
What did he do?
I'm not sure how he worked around that. I'm not sure, actually. But
Maybe
he said he's like, I never wrote a check to Carolina.
Yeah, he wrote a check to Carolina.
Somehow, some way, he did, because I
wrote
didn't.
a check to Carolina.
I'm fortunate for that. Very fortunate. I realize how fortunate I am for that.
Now that we're on a little tangent from your story.
This is how it goes. We're smoking, we're drinking, we're talking.
I want to say something. We're super honored to have you on here, but I'm also, really honored to have you as a friend. I'm carrying on this legacy from my father, Havana Phil's. He was a huge Wolfpacker.
Yeah.
I mean, he would have fanboyed all over you if he met you, and just gone nuts. And it's just so cool that we can develop this relationship and be friends, and it's all because of the cigars.
Yeah.
My family's had season tickets in Carter Finley since it was built. My grandfather went there, my uncle, my aunts, my dad, everyone in my family went there. So it's super special to have this connection and have you on the podcast.
Man, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, from day one when we met, obviously it was a connection. Mm-hmm. When I saw the humidor and it was red, and I was just like, man, I got to have that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's NC State red.
Right.
I took it home that night, so. But obviously, I appreciate you, Phil. And I definitely cherish our relationship and the way it's going. You definitely have a special, special place here. I mean, we drive an hour and a half just to come here because there's nothing else like it. But we're excited about it. Definitely excited about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So if you want me to continue, I will.
Yes, from NC State. I did not mean to.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I know we're just having a conversation. So.
And the red pants, I just have to say.
Ooh.
Love the red pants.
Yeah.
I know that you're doing that, friends.
Yeah, State Carolina week. Just
love a good pair of red pants.
Pump my boys up the best I can. I can't be there. This is a week where I would go to practice. Mm-hmm. Just to be around the guys, just to kind of smell the dirt again, seeing how they feeling. And letting them know how important this is.
Yeah.
This is just not a normal week. Why is it not a normal week?
But they won't allow you to go in.
No.
The history, right?
It's off guard. Yeah. The history. And bragging rights. Because all these guys know each other. They went to school together. Oh, I just chose Carolina instead of State. And, and they all party together when they're not playing and all this stuff. So it's all about the bragging rights, So that's really what makes it so special. Because you want to be one up on your friend. You know what I mean? So.
Plus, we all have a mutual hate for Duke, so. I mean, it's true. It is true. We can get along on that account.
I would choose Duke over Carolina.
Well, You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me. Who says that? Would you? You
Yeah.
wouldn't. Please tell me you wouldn't.
I was raised anybody but Carolina.
Well, to be honest, I grew up a Carolina fan. I'll be honest.
Really?
Yeah, because of the basketball team. I mean, Jordan and all that.
Yeah.
They letting us out of school early to watch the games and all that. It's just.
Right.
So, and when it came to, choosing a college, it did come down to Carolina or State for me, but at that time.
What made you choose?
Carolina was coming off of like 2 1-10 seasons, I think. They were pretty bad back then. Late 80s, 88, 89, they were pretty bad. And State was coming off bowl games. And so I didn't want to go to a losing team. And, I felt a real connection with the coaching staff over at State. They had a lot of really good defensive backs and stuff. So I wanted to be a part of those guys that were going into the pros and stuff. So that's, but I tell you, it was nip and tuck. It really was. It really was tough. One of the toughest decisions I ever made.
But it was a good business decision, right?
Yeah, at the end of the day, it was. You see how things turned out.
Yeah.
So tell us about that. Tell us more. Tell us what happened next. Where'd you go from there?
Well, after being there at State for 4 years, back then it was a big deal to play as a freshman. So I chose to do that. Most all freshmen redshirted back then. But I decided, I said, Coach, I want to play. I know I'm not going to start, but play as much as I can just so I can learn from these older guys. And so that worked out for me because then my sophomore year I was competing against a senior for the starting job and I beat him out.
Wow.
Right? So I don't think that would have happened if I would have redshirted and not been around all those guys.
That's pretty unheard of back then.
Back then, yeah. I mean, you see it now all the time. Nobody redshirts now, but
Right.
So things just took off. Sophomore year, junior year, senior year. Obviously, I played well enough that I was able to get drafted in the first round, 18th pick overall to Minnesota Vikings. So I went to New York, the whole deal. Paul Tagliabue holding up jerseys, same thing they do now. We did all that. Had the whole family there, about 30 of us, and all that stuff. So that was a great experience. And
how'd you celebrate?
After the draft?
Mm-hmm.
Some big party. I think Marshall Falk was having a party. Me and Marshall came out the same year, and, somewhere in New York. Cause we were in New York at the time, so just partying with the family and stuff like that.
That's
so
cool.
yeah, it was a good time. And obviously went to Minnesota, a place I didn't know where it was on the map.
Yeah.
I'm from Durham. Went to school right in Raleigh, and
that's cool.
I'll never forget the day I left the house in my little brand new Lexus, and my mom's like, "Where are you going again?" Go to Minnesota. I just drive off.
Where are you going again? Bye, Mom.
Bye, Mom.
Bye, Mom.
I gotta go to work.
Yeah. So you drove to Minnesota?
Yeah, 18 hours.
They didn't fly you out there?
18 hours.
No. Don't get me wrong. Like after the draft, they flew me there and all that stuff. But yeah, when it was time to leave for good in July, I drove the car.
Right.
So I went there and definitely really grew as a person, just being in a different part of the country, different people, and obviously if you guys have ever been up there, it's frigid.
Yeah.
Frigid cold, right?
No, thank you.
Yeah, and that was tough that first year.
Right.
Is it different playing when the weather's different like that? I mean, is it harder
Well, I thank God every Sunday that we played inside. We played in the dome.
Yeah.
Because it would be a blizzard outside.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, wow, they used to play outside there in the 70s and 80s, but then they built the Metrodome, they moved inside. So that was a blessing. I mean, because it's frigid. You would always see in the news up there that people would have to go to the hospital and get their fingers cut off because they were waiting on the bus.
Oh, wow.
So the bus would take so long, they would get frostbite that bad.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, this is unbelievable. You had to go get your fingers cut off?
Yeah.
So you think if you don't have on the proper gear and you're out there, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever long it is, waiting on the bus,
Wow.
you got to take a stop by the hospital. Cut that one off. So it was a different world. It was just.
What a change of
Yeah,
scenery.
it
That's
really,
like
really
negatives
was.
something.
Oh, yeah. Every day, though. It's negative every day.
Yeah.
Ugh.
It's not just one day.
A lot of people live there. I'm sorry, Minnesota.
So what was?
I'm sure it's beautiful
So your rookie
in
year,
the summer.
did you get a lot of hazing as a rookie, being a first
Yeah,
round?
well, not hazing in the way of somebody putting their hands on me. No, it wasn't.
Right, right.
Yeah. It was just I was getting the donuts, getting the food, whatever it was that
Carrying
the veterans wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah, stuff like that. So, I was glad when that was over because that was just like, come on, man, this is getting ridiculous.
Did you have to pick up some big bar tabs, dinner tabs?
Yeah,
like that?
yeah. Had to do that. All those stories are true. Guys just walking in, ordering stuff and leaving. They're not even with us. Just guys on the team just coming in, ordering stuff. But that's how it goes.
Yeah.
That's the way they indoctrinate you into the NFL. It's part of the deal.
It's a rookie life. It's just like anything.
Yeah.
We have a rookie here. His name's Arelli. And, we give him all the bad stuff. All the jobs we don't want to do.
Right. He does them. Yeah. Wait, finish. So, just to, sum that up, obviously played in Minnesota for 4 years. Was great. Contract was up and was a free agent. Then I had the opportunity to go and play for Coach Kyle, another NC State guy in Pittsburgh. So, and that was just a great run. I had 6 great years there in Pittsburgh. I left in 2003, unfortunately for me. They won the Super Bowl in 2005, so I missed that. That hurt, but, I get it from a business perspective. And I finished my career, played a year in Jacksonville, which was good to leave from Pittsburgh. Cold also to go down to Florida, so that was good to take the family to Florida for a year. And then finish my last year in Kansas City with Dick Vermeil. His last year of coaching, I played with him. And we played the Raiders, and I started that game. That was the only year I didn't start in my career, but I started that year. And it was the only time he had ever given one player the Defensive Player of the Week and Special Teams Player of the Week football. Wow. So I got that. So that's really special to me. I got that in the trophy case at the house because, Dick Vermeil's been around forever,
Legend,
and when he said it, I was just like, wow. He was just like, man, I've never given this out to one person, not both in 1 week. So that was cool. Yeah, it was cool. So it was a great ride, man. I got everything out of my body, out of the NFL that I thought I could get out of it, and so 2005 came and we moved on.
Back to the Bill Cowher days. Did you have a special connection with him because you guys were NC State guys? And do you think that had any effect on you signing with the Steelers?
Well, at the end of the day, it was about the money.
Yeah.
They offered me, the right amount of money. That's ultimately why I went there. And I thought it would be a good team. Because when I went there in 98, in 97, they had just lost in that AFC Championship game. I think it was to San Diego. They were San Diego Chargers at that time. And they felt like they just needed a cornerback to get over the hump because Rod Woodson had just left. So I thought it was a good place to be. But unfortunately for us, when I got there, we went 7-9 and then 6-10. So the first couple of years wasn't that good, and then we turned it around.
Yeah. So you didn't play with Rod Woodson?
No, I didn't play with Rod. I basically took his spot. I took his place.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
I took his place.
So I reached out to Willie Colon.
Yep.
Ex Steelers. He won the Super Bowl with them, and he had a question, and it was, how was playing with alongside Rod Woodson, Kevin Green, and Greg Lloyd? But you didn't play with Rod Woodson.
Yep. I didn't play with none of those guys.
Really?
I didn't play with none of those guys because they had phased those guys out, and then they brought in that new regiment.
Okay.
I was with Jason Gilden and Joey Porter and Joe Steed, all those guys. So we had our run, and then after us came Troy Polamalu and Ike Taylor and all those guys. So that's kind of how that went. Yeah, but no, I didn't play with those guys.
So we can just throw that question out.
Throw it out. Let them know though I didn't play with those guys.
Yeah, we'll let them know. I'm gonna send him this exact clip and just make him feel really bad about it. But he also had one more question, and we're just shouting him out because he's a cool guy and he helps me out here and there and gives me some tips. He asks, do you think you lived up to the hype of being a first-round pick?
In some ways I do. I mean, back then they had several publications that named Rookie of the Years and all that. So a couple of publications I did make Rookie of the Year, and I did make the All-Rookie team and all that. So, and I had tied the record at that time with Deion Sanders and Lynn Barney for 3 interceptions for 3 touchdowns as a rookie. Right. So I did feel like I did that. My second year, unfortunately for me, We're playing the Cowboys, second game of the season, and I tore my shoulder up.
Wow.
So I had to play the whole year with a harness on. So I couldn't really move my arm no higher than this.
Wow.
Playing the cornerback position.
Yeah.
So didn't really make the plays I wanted to that second year. So,
right.
But that's part of the game. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously I had surgery after the season and all that. But
yeah. And I was looking back at your stats and just checking that out a little bit before we got on here, and it didn't look like you missed any games.
No, I missed the one game after I did my shoulder, which ironically was against Pittsburgh. We went to Minnesota. We went to Pittsburgh and played them. I missed that game. Then after that, I played. I had the longest streak in the league there for a while.
Wow.
Game started. Yeah. Because at that level, if you're not available, you're not any good to them.
Right.
That's what I was going to ask. Like when you get hurt, when somebody gets hurt in a professional sport like that, what goes through your mind? Just I'm going to lose my job. They're going to trade me. Like
you don't really think that. It depends on your contract situation. So when I got hurt as a second-year player, I mean, I knew I was going to be on the team, but when you get injured, no matter what year you're in, you're giving the person behind you an opportunity to go out and show his stuff. He wants to get out there too. He wants to play also, and it's not like he's not that good. He's good. It's just that he hadn't had his opportunity yet. So I always prided myself in not giving that guy that opportunity. Let him just practice.
Right.
I got to go make plays in the game so I could stay out here. And I did that for as long as I could until I lost a little step, and then it was time for somebody else to go in there and start.
And what year was that for you? Was that like
when I lost that little step?
Yeah, 10, 11.
Year 10 in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Yep. We're in Seattle, and I just wasn't having a good game, and the coach said, "Man, we're gonna go in a different direction." It threw me for a loop. You know what I mean? Coach was like,
right.
Like, man, you're gonna take me out. But unfortunately for a really good friend of mine, Chad Scott, he had got hurt, and so he went on IR. So I ended up starting the rest of that year after about 2-3 games not starting. But I was at that point where I just saw just a little step. And I'm talking just a little. Like normally I would be able to touch you, but then I can't touch you. I'm just missing the ball.
Yeah.
I'm just missing the play. And just that little bit can make the difference in whether you win or lose the game.
Right.
No
doubt.
At that position.
Yeah.
The hardest position in football.
It's just like anything in life. The smallest details matter the most.
Yep.
And that's kind of what we preach over here.
Yep.
Like you think I'm being annoying because I want you to do this the exact way that it's supposed to be, but it's like that matters so much more than you can actually see.
That's right. That's right.
So that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. But I was able to, for lack of better words, kind of redeem myself when I went to Jacksonville, because I did start when I went there and played 16 games and But,
and it was warmer.
And it was warmer. Yeah. That helped.
Maybe it was the joints at that point.
Maybe it was.
Maybe it was a little more loose down there.
But I had done a lot of running, man.
Right.
Like I said, I started this thing when I was 5 years old, so I did a lot of running.
Who was the hardest person you had to tackle?
To tackle? Barry Sanders, hands down.
Yeah?
I still have nightmares.
Did he ever truck you?
No, he didn't truck me.
Yeah.
I just missed him.
Yeah.
I can remember we played him. What was this? Either my rookie year or my second year. I missed him 7 times, right? And Coach Tony Dungy was our defensive coordinator.
No way.
Yeah, he was my defensive coordinator before he became a head coach in Tampa. His thing was he always wanted to condense the field so Barry couldn't get outside of us and run up the sidelines for a touchdown. Right. So I was doing that. I was making him cut back inside to everyone else, but I was missing him. So after the game, Coach comes up to me and says, "Man, great job, Dewayne." I'm thinking, what do you mean great job? I missed him 7 times, Coach. Yeah. You know what I mean? But he's like, "Oh, you did your job, though. You made him go back inside and someone else tackled him."
Right.
He was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable player.
Yeah.
He was unbelievable. Unbelievable. Gosh.
Just hearing him speak is just so inspirational.
Yeah.
Whether he's analyzing a play or talking about some some quarterback who's not performing well, it's just like it gets you going. You know? Was that kind of how he was in the locker room?
Yeah, never raised his voice, of course, and he always command the room.
Yeah.
You know, I hated it when he left. Everybody hated it when he left. You know, we love him so much, but he's just a special, special person, God-fearing man, and I respect him so much because we would have a Bible study on Wednesdays, and he would be there with us, with the players.
Wow.
He's the only coach in there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, man, coach is in here with us on Wednesday night, and then Thursday morning, he's back in there, you know, coaching us.
Right.
You know, so that really, really did a lot for me in my mind as a young player. Just so much respect for him that he kept the main thing, and that was his, you know, his belief in Christ.
Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. So, comparing the times when you were in the NFL to now, do you think the NFL players have it made to what you went through in the NFL? Yeah,
I mean, it's all things have changed. You know, obviously, each collective bargaining agreement, they go in there and they argue about things that they want, and now they don't practice as much. They don't have two-a-days as much. You know, they don't be in pads as much. You know, but back then, you know, we pretty much in pads, you know, every day and all that, and we used to hit every day. So you know, it just wears on your body.
Yeah.
But when you're in it and you don't know anything different, that's just the game.
Yeah.
You know, so now, I mean, those guys, if they had to go back to where we were, of course they couldn't do that.
Yeah.
But of course, we can go and play the way they play now, you know, because they don't have to hit as much.
Yeah.
And then just the way you tackle and all that is totally different than when we played.
Right.
Totally different.
And that's a positive thing, though, right?
It is.
That's a result of knowledge about how those hits are
yeah. The long-term effects.
Yeah,
that's right. That's
players,
right. Yeah, it is. I commend the league for that. You know, for them implementing that. You know, and it's tough. You see it still happening. You know, from time to time, guys do get their heads in there when they're making tackles. But at least the league is being intentional, and the players and the coaches, everybody's being intentional about getting your head out of the tackling with your shoulders.
That's good.
Do you think you would have been ejected from many games for the tackles that you made back then?
Oh, absolutely.
If you played today?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Because you were trying to take people's heads off.
Yeah, because it's just,
that's what I just said.
Yeah. It's just the mentality.
I know football a little bit.
Yeah.
It's just different. I mean, you know, I played in an era, you know, and I was a cornerback, but I was always in the top 5 in tackles on the team. You know, we had to, you know, make tackles. You know, whether that was running backs, whoever that might be. You know, so they don't ask them to do that as much like they did back then. It's just different.
Yeah.
Did you always love football? Like growing up, did you play other sports, or was like football like your focus?
No, I played. Yeah, back then. I mean, everybody played 3 sports. So
yeah.
It was, you know, football, basketball, track for me. You know, track was probably my first love, to be honest. So just really loved track and getting on the track, and I think that.
What'd you run in track?
100, 200, you know, all the relays, long jump, triple jump, all that stuff. Yeah.
What was your 40 time?
My 40 time in the draft, I got clocked at 4.45, 4.47. So
wow.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
Yeah, it was fast enough.
Yeah,
it's fast enough.
Hell yeah.
I have a question about the draft. Do you have any pull? I don't know a lot about the draft and stuff. So, do you? I'm assuming there's just like a lot of politics involved, a lot of like. I don't know. Tell me a little bit as a novice here, like somebody that doesn't know. I'm interested to know if you had any say, or if it was like if there's a relational aspect to it at all, or is it just skill level? Do you meet with these teams and then they like you as a player? They see your dedication. Like,
yeah. No, I mean, the draft is, you know, like a week-long deal, right? So the part you see on TV, that's just when you're doing the on the field stuff. But then there's interviews, you know, that's happening pretty much every night. You know, so the teams are getting to know these guys just as a person. Some teams have you do some tests. You know, called a Wonderlic test, some stuff they try to test your intelligence and stuff like that. So, I mean, they do as much as they can to try to get to know you intellectually, and just to see if you'll be able to handle their system, because everybody has a different type of system and pick up on their system. So, you know, you might be up on a chalkboard doing some stuff with a team and stuff like that. So, But yeah, I mean that's kind of how it works. That whole draft weekend, it's a lot of stuff that's going on behind the scenes that you don't see that they show now on TV. Yeah.
Do you kind of have do you think you yourself personally, and then other players that you know of, do you kind of know that it's coming, like who's going to choose you? Or?
Oh yeah, nah. Well, you think you do.
Yeah.
But I mean, come draft day, you just don't know. I could have swore up and down I was going to San Francisco. I thought I was going to San Francisco, but that didn't happen.
What pick did they have?
They actually had 2 first-round picks. I think it was 9 and 15, I think. And so I thought they were going to take me at 15. That's what they were telling me. But they ended up trading up and getting Bryant Young that came from Notre Dame. So then I was like, man, well, where am I going to go? I'm looking at my agent like, hey, what's going on? You know, so then there was other teams, Detroit. And
your mom's like, Minnesota? Where's that? She's like, where are you going again? Well,
oh my God! Yeah,
I'll bring my jacket.
Right. No, bring your overcoat. That's your jacket.
Like full length.
Yeah, full length.
Yeah.
Bring everything you got.
4 layers
in your closet.
Oh gosh.
Did
That's funny.
you play with Randy Moss?
No, so I left in '97. Randy was a rookie in '98.
Ah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. So I didn't play with him. I played against him. But
Did you have to cover him ever?
Yeah, that game I was telling you about when I was in Kansas City, he was in Oakland, so I guarded him in that game. So I did a pretty good job against him. So yeah. Nice. Yeah. He's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yeah. And he's from North Carolina, right?
No, I think he's from West Virginia.
Right.
Yeah, I think he's from West Virginia.
But I think he lives in Charlotte.
Charlotte now.
Yeah.
Now. He lives in Charlotte now. Yep, lives in Charlotte now.
Good old country boy.
Yeah. Excellent player though. Definitely, I mean, deserving of everything that he's got and all the accolades. He was really special. Really special.
So, did you smoke cigars while you were in the NFL?
No, I didn't. You know, early on, I'm trying to think. It's probably somewhere in my rookie year. I don't know what happened. Who got me exposed to it? But I remember getting a humidor and all that, and you know, had some cigars in there, but they all went dry because it was like short-lived. Right. You know, I didn't really. I guess I just had so much else going on with the new wife and new baby and all that. I just kind of didn't get into it. But it wasn't really till, you know, I got out and, you know, got around my good friend James, and, you know, he smokes pretty much every day.
Shout out James.
And kind of got back into it. So I'm glad I have. I mean, I think everything in life is all about timing. You know, so it just seemed like it's a good time in my life. Just something just to, you know, relax and a couple of hours just to smoke a stick and a good little drink.
Sit back, rewind.
Yeah.
How is that? You mentioned your wife and kid or children.
Yeah.
How did you balance your family life with the busyness of being a professional football player?
Well, just being present. You know, after work, I went home. You know, so and when I went home, I knew I had my duties at home. So that was to take the kids, take them outside, do whatever, you know, to give her a break or whatever. Yeah. So that balance, if you will, I think was a big part of me lasting so long too. You know, because you know, I truly, not saying that any other of my teammates didn't have a purpose, but you know, I was really focused on, hey, I'm going to work and I'm working for these, you know, 3 people over here, you know, 4 people here. So
you had value there, so that's what you deemed important in your life.
Right.
So
yeah,
people have
sure
different values in that way. So
what year in the league did you get married?
97. So that was I was my 4th year.
Okay.
Yep.
Did you party hard before then?
Probably pretty hard, yeah.
What were those NFL after parties like? Was it just nuts? Did you guys just go to the club and get tables?
I mean, it wasn't nothing too crazy. I mean, I'm stingy. It's not like I was buying a bar and none of that stuff. I never did anything like that.
Right.
I was in a bar in New York one time, and a New York Giants players had like a
Plaxico Burress?
had like a champagne table or something, and they asked me. It was like me and a group of girlfriends, like 8 or 9 of us, and we all just hung out over at the table all night.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm telling this
It's
story.
pretty much how it goes.
There you go. There's a little behind the smoke screens in my life.
Yeah.
But I was like, yeah, we'll go have some champagne.
Yeah.
Sure. Why not?
Yeah.
I mean, we're here.
I mean, that's kind of what
That's
you
what we're here
imagine.
Yeah, I mean, that's how it
NFL
goes.
dudes just buy a table and
Yeah, we were behind the ropes or whatever,
Yeah.
but, you know, just hanging out.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
fun.
cool.
It was fun. It was really fun. We had a good time.
Yeah.
They were nice guys. Yeah.
What's the most interesting thing that happened after a game that you won? Is there any
An
crazy
interesting thing
story?
that happened after a game
Yeah.
that we won?
Yeah, as far as the celebration goes.
Well, I mean, I can remember in Minnesota, and I think it was the 96, maybe my last year there. We won the game. I forgot who we played. So we were all excited. Hey, we're going to go to the playoffs. But it was dependent on 2 other teams, whoever won in that game.
Right.
And the team we needed to win lost. So we ended up not going to playoffs.
Damn.
So it was short-lived.
Yeah.
You know, so we go from to, oh man, we're packing our bags going home. You
Yeah.
know, so
Yeah.
I remember that. I can't remember who the 2 teams were that needed to. I think it was Chicago and somebody, but they won, so we ended up not going to the playoffs.
Yeah. You didn't even control your own destiny.
We didn't control our
Yeah.
destiny. You don't ever want to be in that position.
Right.
You do not want to come in. We were looking at that TV so hard after the game.
Right.
You know, rooting for them, and they lost.
What was your favorite thing to say to talk trash to the other team?
Oh,
I want to know about what's going on the field because
I was one of them little instigators. You know, I'm not a big guy.
yeah,
right?
I want to
You know
hear
what I mean?
it.
So
Let's
I'm
hear
just-
what you. Let's hear the words that
Were
came
you
out
a
of your
talker?
mouth. I want to hear it.
No, I wasn't really a talker. Not too much. You know, I was like, I'm doing so much running. I'm running more than anybody on the field.
Right.
You know, the wide receiver, he'll run me 60 yards down the field, then he jogs off. I got to jog back,
Right.
line up, and get ready for his replacement to do the same thing. So it wasn't too much talking.
Right.
You know, but I would talk a little bit when one of my guys made a great tackle or something. I'd run up to the, oh, you just got knocked out, you know, just little crazy stuff, you know, but I wasn't that big of a talker.
You don't curse much, do you?
No,
Do you ever curse?
yeah, but not much. I try my best to use other words.
Only on the golf course.
Intelligence.
No, not really on a golf course.
That's a man of intelligence. there,
That's
Phil.
where I curse the most. It's bad.
You got to find some other words.
Throwing my club. Fuck.
Don't throw your
Throw
clubs.
the F-bomb in there, Phil.
Just work on
Yeah.
your swing. Don't throw your clubs.
Yeah. Practice. What are we talking about?
Practice.
Right?
We're talking about practice?
That's
I
why
do
we're
know
not.
that
That's why we're
reference.
not any good because we don't want to practice like we need to.
Right. Yeah.
I think about how much I practiced the game of football before I played a game. Now all I want to do is go play golf, and I don't ever want to practice. You know,
Right.
so
Yeah.
that's why my scores are where they are.
Yeah. You just want to play the game.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, but golf is kind of like the fun practice because it's like you just go to the driving range and you just get to sit there and swing. I mean, practice for football is like hard hits
Yeah,
and,
but
like,
you'd rather
running
you'd rather
and
be
sprints
driving
and,
around.
Yep.
like, whatever all those things are
You'd
called
rather
that
be
y'all do.
driving around, play 18 holes.
Yeah.
Hitting the bags.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm still going. I'm like thinking
No.
about what it
Yeah,
looks
you
like.
definitely rather play than practice,
Right.
but we need to practice more.
Well, you guys were out on the putting green a couple weeks ago.
Oh man,
Practicing a little bit.
unbelievable!
Who was the winner of that?
Best time.
So we have backstory. We have a putting green in the front of our store here, and Dewayne and a bunch of his buddies were out there just putting away,
In
gambling.
the rain.
They were throwing a little
Wow,
money
dedication.
down
Yep.
It's dedication.
and having some putting contests, working on the short game. Who was the champion of that?
Well, I don't know if it was one champion because other guys did win. I would say I won the most money because I bet the most money.
Oh, right.
So
So you're the champion.
See, Phil, that's how you do
wanna put
it,
it
Phil.
that way. If you don't put it that way, if they were sitting here, they would probably say, "Oh, yo, I beat you," you know, because I did lose some. I'm not saying I didn't lose,
Right. Right.
but I won the most money.
You lost the most and won the most.
No, I didn't lose the most.
Mm-hmm.
No, I say I lost some money. The person who I took his money, he lost the most.
Right.
I'm not gonna say his name.
Say his name. This is Behind the Smokescreens.
Yeah, you gotta know his name.
Oh man, I ain't gonna put him out there like
James,
that.
what was his name?
James don't know. James wasn't here. James wasn't here.
That's some good friends right there.
James wasn't here that night.
He's
Whoever
locked
you
up.
are, they have your back. That's good
hey,
friends. They just
right.
want more of your money.
It was James.
They just want. It was James.
It was James.
James is like, nah.
Oh man.
I'm not saying. I'm not saying.
It would have been a different story.
But hey, if you come to Fields, bring your putter with you.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Great time.
Find us on the putting green.
That's right.
So what are you up to now?
I tell you, it's obviously with COVID, the last 6-7 months, being at home is really giving me time to kind of reflect where I'm at and kind of where I want to go, so I'm definitely in a transition. I've been an entrepreneur since I got out, just been in several countless deals, whether that be construction or real estate. We've got some projects going on in Wilson, North Carolina, and Fayetteville, North Carolina, from a real estate development perspective. But that stuff moves at a snail's pace.
Yeah.
It takes quite a while to put a project together and see that come to fruition.
Yeah.
So we have a co-working space also in Durham at the North Carolina Mutual Building. Profit 1898 is the name of that company. So we're excited about that. Just giving young entrepreneurs a place that they can come to that won't cost them a lot to be able to come off very professional when they're starting trying to grow their business. So that's one of the things we're excited about that we got going. So,
That's great.
yeah.
It sounds really fulfilling. Beautiful.
In a lot of ways, it is. It really is.
Yeah.
It really is.
And you've got your kids as well.
Yep.
Your daughter's at Vanderbilt.
Daughter at Vanderbilt. My son just graduated from the U.
Mm-hmm.
He's working at J.P. Morgan. Excited for him down in Miami, their Miami office. So he's set up. Then I got my baby girl at home. She's a junior. She goes to a private school there in Raleigh. So yeah, the family's good. I mean, the wife she's teaching at State now. She's teaching the introductory level social work class.
Is that where y'all met?
Yeah, that's where we met.
That's beautiful.
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
Yeah, that's where we met.
Sweet little love story.
Yep, 1993. Yep.
Sweet little Wolfpack love story. Red. They just saw red. They're like,
Oh my gosh.
I love you, baby.
Mr. and Mrs. Wolf.
Now, y'all are in Raleigh or Durham? You said.
Was that now?
You're in Raleigh or Durham? Yeah.
Raleigh.
Durham has really got
Yeah.
picked up a little bit.
Durham's
Yeah,
changed.
things are changing. It's beautiful. There's a lot of art and music and
Big
Yeah.
music
some cool
scene.
things going
Yeah.
on around
Really,
there.
really cool.
Yeah.
Really, really cool. Just to see, the influx of money that's come from around the world, to Durham in the last, 20 years has been amazing. So, I was fortunate to be a part of a development group that got in early. At one point, we owned over 30 buildings, downtown Durham.
Wow.
But yeah, it's so swank and cool, because downtown's not that big, so you can get in your car, you can get out of your car, and just walk around, go everywhere. So, I love what Durham has matured into, or is maturing into. It's really, really a cool place.
Yeah, it is.
So you're kind of retired, but at the same time you're still an entrepreneur, still hustling. How, like, we always ask our guests what it's like behind the scenes. Like, how do you find the balance to, spend time with your family, but at the same time still give that time and effort to the businesses that you're running?
And the things that you're passionate about.
Sure.
'Cause you probably always will work in some capacity.
Yeah, and I think, for me, I just think that life is, it goes in phases, so we're always trying to find that next thing that we're passionate about, So for so many years, I was running behind the kids. And that's what I was so passionate about. My son playing football, my daughter playing basketball, and now that's gone, it's it's kind of what's next. We've always, I say we, meaning the family, always known and understand that you got to give to get, right? And our giving is giving it to our community, or and we've always done that. I mean, we had a foundation for 10 years that we ran and did some great things with young people that were going to college, to in-state schools. So we really try to promote the schools here in North Carolina, because so many great, excellent schools here in North Carolina. So we did that for a while, and now me and the wife have been sitting down trying to figure out, okay, what's our next thing that we're going to do from a giving perspective, whether that's the NC State or whatever. I joined the First Tee. I'm on their board because obviously loving golf and just sees what that does and how that builds character in you, and trying to infuse that into young people. It's just so much things that are out there that you can get involved with. You just got to seek them out, and that's just who I am. I want to be out there, and I want to be able to give back to my community as much as I can, because I truly feel like the community has given me so much. Really do.
That's beautiful.
Amazing.
Yeah, that says a lot about you and your character and
I appreciate it.
class act.
I appreciate it.
Does every professional athlete play golf after they're done playing their sport?
No,
You guys all go play golf after.
Not
Like, I'm done. I'm retired. I'm playing golf.
Not everybody.
Yeah, you do.
Some guys
Come on, y'all
do.
do.
Some guys can't stand golf. I mean, because it's slow and takes so
Mm-hmm.
long. But
I actually have a real question about when do you know it's time to throw in the towel?
you talking about like playing football?
Sports wise, like
Well,
at
sometimes.
what point
Or
do you-
golf. I want to know that.
That'll be the 8th hole. Like, I'm done. 8th hole. I can't.
Yeah, no. The guys I play with, I can't ever throw in the towel. I
Right.
gotta finish.
Yeah.
I gotta finish. But from a football perspective, or any pro sport,
Yeah,
for
pro
that
sports
perspective,
wise is what I mean.
You know when it's over when your phone stops ringing.
Oh,
Mm,
And what I mean by that is there's no team that's calling.
right.
There's only a few players that truly retire on their own.
Yeah.
That means that they could still play.
Like
Barry
Brett
Sanders is
Favre.
one of those guys.
Peyton Manning.
Brett Favre.
He just keeps playing. He
Peyton
just
was
kept
probably
playing.
pretty much at the end. I don't know if
Yeah.
anybody else would have called Peyton.
He knew it was done.
Yeah,
he knew
Peyton
it
was pretty
over,
much at
yeah.
the end.
Brett Favre, he was coming back. That was like 3 summers of Brett Favre coming back.
Yeah, he kept doing that.
Yeah.
Right? Because he could. Because
Yeah.
the phone kept ringing. You see
Right.
my point?
Mm-hmm.
So when the phone stops ringing, you know that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Because even though I was going into year 13, I was still working out just in case the phone rang.
Mm.
Even though I knew I'm pretty much done,
Yeah.
just in case, let me go out here and get on the track and work out.
Did that
That's gotta
hurt?
be like a humbling thing for an
Absolutely.
athlete, because you're all this time you're like you know that you're good because you've made it to the professional league,
You had the
So you-
experience.
and you just feel it. You know how good you are,
Yep.
and then you get to a place where it's like you feel that change, that shift. That's got to be. How does that feel as an athlete to get to that place?
Well, it's humbling.
Mm.
It's truly humbling. Because, just being quite frankly with you, that for my whole life, I was Dewayne Washington of something.
Mm-hmm.
So I was Dewayne Washington of NC State, Dewayne Washington of Minnesota Vikings, Dewayne Washington of Pittsburgh Steelers. So I always had that attachment.
Mm-hmm.
So when that's taken off, and then now you're just Dewayne Washington,
Yeah.
that's when it's like, boy, okay, who am I really?
Dad, husband,
Right,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
right.
And it seemed like you had the balance to where it didn't hurt you that much, like it would with somebody who didn't have the family structure.
Right. Well, I had the support.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I had a wife that said, "Hey, okay, come on, let's get off the couch. What you gonna do next?"
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, and so you hear the stories all the time where guys don't transition well, and that's a real thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because all their lives, they've done one thing and they've been really good at it, and then now, let me try to find something else that I can be good at.
There's a whole identity wrapped up in
That's
that
right.
place,
That's
and then
right.
you have to create a whole new identity in some
That's right.
capacity. And it sounds like you've done that in a way that's helping other people and giving back and providing and using your skills to, sharing that knowledge and that experience with people that you believe will come up and be
Sure.
able to do similar types of things. And I think
Absolutely.
that's a beautiful way.
And
to
it helped me to
have
having
a
a
legacy
son.
there.
So my son was just in Pop Warner, so then let me go coach his team. You know, so that kept me around the game. You know, so coaching him along the way.
Yeah.
You know,
That
and
was
coaching
fun.
him in high school. And
Was
stuff.
that fun?
Yeah.
How did he like it though?
You know what? You'd have to ask
like,
him
"Dad."
that. You'd have to ask him.
We should bring him on the pod.
Yeah, you should bring him on.
Yeah.
Because
Next time he's in town, let us know and we'll arrange
Okay.
something. Yeah.
All right, yeah,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
For real.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see.
We'll have you both on.
Yeah, from
Yeah.
his perspective,
Right.
what he would say. But
Yeah.
I definitely tried to be there with him all along the way, and so much so I got the itch that I said, you know what? Let me try to go lead a program myself. So I left the school he was at and became the head coach at a high school.
Oh, wow.
Right, not too far from where he was. So, and that was a great experience. Really, really good for me to go lead a group of young people.
Yeah.
And just infuse that positivity into their lives on a daily basis. That was really, really gratifying.
Yeah.
You know, it really was. But, you know, what comes with that, too, is a lot of responsibility. You know, a lot of responsibility. And at that time, you know, obviously I still had my businesses going, you know, so I was just running back and forth. It was just so
Right.
much. So after 3 years of that, I was just like burnt out. I was like, man, I can't keep doing this.
Yeah.
And so I chose the business over the school, you know.
Yeah.
Hated to leave those kids, really did. Heritage High School is where I was at for 3 years.
I saw, so I did a tiny bit of research before this, and I saw that. And I saw that you brought on Torrey Holt
Yeah,
and Willie Parker.
yeah,
Those guys were superstars in the NFL.
Yeah.
And you brought them to a high school.
yeah.
How was that?
Yeah.
Like was that a humongous buzz within the city?
Oh, no question.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
It was cool. I mean, fortunately for me, I caught those guys. You know, like I keep going back to is that whole timing. You know, they were out of the league too, so they had some time on their hands, and they wanted to get back closer to the dirt too. So when I asked them to come on, they said sure. So I mean, it was great having those guys because I knew, hey, the running backs were taken care of. I knew the wideouts were taken care of. You
right.
know, because
and then you cover the defense.
right, I'd
Yeah.
cover the defense.
Yeah.
So and you know, we had a great run, had some really good teams, and you know, we was able to put some guys in college, some guys that are playing at state stuff now. So it's good.
Beautiful.
It's good.
Beautiful. Does Torrey Holt smoke cigars?
I do not know that.
He's from this area.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
far, Gibsonville. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. I don't think he
That's
does.
real fun.
I don't think he does, but
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
Yeah. We need to get him up here. That guy was my hero.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was a Rams fan because of him.
Okay.
Yeah. When I was growing up, my pops always went to St. Louis and he'd bring back, you know, Rams gear.
Okay.
And, yeah.
North Carolina
Okay.
didn't
Yeah.
have a professional football team.
Right. Well,
To 95.
95. I was born in 94, so he was there in what?
Born in
ni-
94.
Yeah.
Good
Okay,
gracious.
show my age a little bit there, but, you know.
So he was.
Moving right along.
94.
So he was there like.
I remember when.
He was there what?
97, I
Yeah.
think. was
And
when
then he
got
won the
drafted
Super
there.
Bowl in like 2000, 99.
2000. Yeah,
Yeah.
because we lost the AFC Championship to New England. New England went and played them, played
Right.
the Rams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was a huge Torrey Holt guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent player, man.
Yeah.
Well overdue to make the Hall of Fame, that's for sure.
He's not in?
Not yet.
Oh wow.
Not yet. Not yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully he'll get in this year.
Yeah. I would say that's a lock.
Yeah.
Well, he's definitely going to get in for sure. Do you think you have a shot?
No. Because unfortunately for me, I never made a Pro Bowl, so that's one of the criteria.
Is it really?
Yeah.
But you had a ton of interceptions,
Yeah,
ton
yeah.
of tackles.
Yeah.
That doesn't.
No, none of that. You got to make a Pro Bowl.
Wow. That's fucked up. That's so fucked up. We gotta call that big guy who knocks on the doors.
Right.
We gotta make him knock on your door.
my God,
one
that's
of these
funny.
days. Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the criteria. I mean, you know, they got to, you know, put some criteria in there. you know?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, they got to do that.
I mean, we can't have participation trophies.
Listen, he did a little more.
I'm
than
just-
participation.
I'm thinking participation. I did more participation.
I'm just kidding. I had to throw that in there because that's always like sports-wise. We're always talking about participation
Yeah.
trophies with the kids.
Yeah, you
I
gotta
don't
talk
like
a
that.
little
I don't
shit.
like that.
Which is why there's criteria, which there should be. I mean,
Yeah.
kids is kids, you know.
Mm-hmm.
We got to give them hope and encouragement and support in that way,
Mm-hmm.
in a sense. But You know what I mean?
But everybody getting a trophy, I don't agree
Yeah.
with that. I mean,
Yeah,
I
I
just didn't
don't-
grow up during that time. I mean,
Yeah.
it's,
Well, we're going to start an official Havana Phil's petition to get you into the Hall of Fame.
don't do that.
Get you that gold jacket.
Don't do that.
It's going to happen.
What do you think was your greatest accomplishment
Don't
as
do
a
that.
football, as an athlete? What do you consider your greatest accomplishment?
Well, I mean, obviously making it to the highest level,
Yeah.
you know, and playing, just having that longevity and being
Making
consistent.
a career out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, obviously.
Way more than most people can do.
Yeah, the
Ma-
average
many people
lifespan
hope
is
to, yeah.
3 years.
3 years, yeah.
You
Wow.
know, so to
Yeah.
double or triple that or whatever. So, I would say that's probably my biggest accomplishment. I mean, I have no regrets. I mean, I did all I can do, and it was a great ride.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Great ride.
That's success to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Above and beyond.
What would you tell people, professional athletes, or people that want to do what you've done, that maybe just aren't there yet or are striving to become that level, that next level? Like, what would you tell them about your efforts or your training or your drive? What kind of advice would you give?
Well, you know, looking back on it, I didn't know that what I was doing was abnormal. When I was in high school, like if my boys was getting ready to go hang out, I say, "Oh, okay, I'll catch up with you guys." I'd go run first, then take a shower, then go hang out with my guys.
Wow.
You know, so
Yeah.
and that was a norm for me because in my mind, I thought, man, you know, I got to be in better shape than everybody else. Because if I'm in better shape than everybody else, in my mind, I thought, oh, I'm going to make that play that he can't make because he's tired. I'm not tired. He's
Yeah,
tired. So I'm
right.
going to make the play. You know, so looking back on it, I thank God I had that mindset because it got me to where, you know, I am. So, but the first thing I would tell young players in high school or in college, especially guys in college, is get your degree. I would tell them that more than anything because that's the most gratifying thing I ever done in my life was get my degree because it took me 6 years after I was in the NFL to get my degree. I just kept going back in the off seasons, take a class here, online class there, until I got that. And the reason why I say it's the most gratifying thing I did in my life, outside of my wife and kids, is because it didn't have anything to do with me running and jumping. It didn't have anything to do with that, you know. So, and because I got that degree, I think it opened up the doors that have been opened up for me since then. I mean, I left NC State. I was in the '94 draft. I didn't get my degree until 2001. So I had all the money. I had everything. I had the family. So a lot of people say, hey, why go back or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
But obviously, you know, I had promised Mom I'd do it, you know, not knowing that I needed a college degree to be able to be on the board of trustees at NC State. If I didn't have my college degree, I wouldn't be on the board of trustees at NC State right now.
Oh, you're currently on there.
I'm currently on it.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm in my second term. It's 2 4-year terms, so I've been on the board for 6 years now.
Wow.
Yeah,
How was that?
it's a great experience just to see the inner workings of the university. It's a huge business. It's business.
Yeah.
You know, so the Chancellor Woodson and everybody that's on the board, it's been a great experience for me just to get behind the curtain, if you will.
Yeah.
You know, to truly see how you know the university works and the big decisions you have to make and how they affect so many people.
Right.
It's been really good.
Do you have any pull with the recruiting of the football team?
Oh, pull in what way?
Like, do you get to go to 5-star recruit's house and sit down?
No, I don't get involved with none of that.
Yeah.
No, I don't get involved with any of that. I mean, Coach Dorian used to have all that. They handle all that stuff. You know what I mean?
Have you ever had a cigar with Dorian?
No, I haven't.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to do that.
Yeah.
I'm glad you said that. Yeah, I'll have to get with Coach and do that.
Yeah. He's been up here before.
Yeah, I know you told me that.
Yeah, he's bought, you know, some cigars.
Coach is so
from us,
busy,
hung
you
out.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
We get together in the off season a little bit, might break bread or something like that. But you know, the next time, now that you say that, I'm gonna tell him I have to get some sticks.
You ought to bring him up here.
Yeah.
We got his Templeton Rye.
Mm-hmm.
It's it's his favorite drink ever. We always have it on bar in case he pops in town. Because he's from somewhere in Iowa.
Yeah.
And that's where that rye is made. And
Okay.
so he loves it. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I have to mention that to him.
Mm-hmm.
No, coach is good. He's doing a good job with the guys.
Yeah. He seems like a player's coach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does a good job.
What makes a good coach?
You know, I think you got to be able to communicate. And you got to be able to communicate differently with him than you do with me. Two totally different people, you know. So you got to be able to get your message, you know, obviously to the whole group, but then that individual conversation, you got to be able to reach each individual person. I think that's what makes a good coach. If you can't, you know, pull me to the side and talk to me the way you need to talk to me in my language, you can't talk to me in the language you just talk to that guy. I'm not going to receive it. I'm not going to receive it like I need to.
It's like managing bartenders for me. You got to know what they want, what they see, you know.
Yeah.
Different people. Completely different people. You just have to get on their level. And,
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Is there a piece of advice or just an action that a coach ever took with you or around you that always stood out for you over the years? That you can look back on and say, I will never forget when this person said this or when this...
Well, I mean, I go all the way back to high school. I mean, my coach, Coach Browning, he's one of the best coaches ever come through high school football in North Carolina. He was on Mac Brown's staff the first time Mac was there, and now he's back there now.
Mac is back.
Yeah, and he...
Not this weekend, though.
Hopefully not. Hopefully not. But when Coach brought me into his home, you know, as a 10th grader, 11th grader, that did a lot for me. He's a white man. He bring me into his home, break bread with him and his, you know, his son, who's the quarterback of our team, and, you know, his whole family and all that. That really resonated with me, and it took our relationship to a whole nother level. You know, he's the person I can call right now. You know, he's gonna pick up the phone, and vice versa. You know, when I was a high school coach, I leaned on him all the time. You know, just asking him, how should I do this? How should I do that? You know, so it's such a long-lasting relationship. You know, and it just started from there. Back when we was in high school in the '80s, just how he took me in. He saw something in me that I didn't see in myself at that time. You know, so that's. Those things makes a great coach.
I just wonder if there are coaches that are more concerned with them winning than they are of their team winning, and if you can tell if there's this like obvious difference. I mean, when you win as a team, you win as a coach, but there's this relational aspect of a coach being able to look at his players and say, I want them to have this even more so than I want me to have this.
There's only two people that have the wins and losses recorded, and it's the coach and the quarterback.
Right.
I don't know nothing about that.
Like that's the only thing the media portrays.
Yeah.
So can you tell a difference between a coach that only cares about the money and the media aspect?
That's what I mean is a coach that really cares about his people versus like his players versus a coach that's worried about the numbers or worried about...
Yeah, and I'm sure there's coaches like that out there, but fortunately for me, I wasn't around those, you know, type of coaches. You know, I had Dick Sheridan when I was at NC State, and obviously it was hey, we all win or we all lose, you know, and that's just the way it was. So I was fortunate not to be around coaches like that, which is great.
You think that's the majority?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Because they're in it because that's what they're in it because they love the game and they love every part of it.
Right. And they love helping young people, and you know, everything else is going to come with that. You know, I mean, obviously, coaches, especially in college, they're making a lot of money now, right? Of course, but you know, so the money's going to come as long as you know you're taking care of those young men and you guys are winning.
You get a benefit.
Yeah, you're gonna get paid. You know, you're gonna get paid.
Yeah.
D-Wash lives like we live.
Yeah.
No expectations.
How do you spend your time now? What's like your favorite thing to do now when you have free time? And do you ever play anymore?
Play what?
Do you play?
Play what?
Football. What?
Play football? No.
Is that dumb? Is that a dumb question?
No.
It's not dumb.
Yeah,
It's not a dumb question.
Play football? I haven't touched a football probably 2, 3 years, 4 years.
What? For the love of the game.
Yeah, like in the backyard play?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
You just use like little flag football.
He plays golf.
Nowadays.
It
Right.
stimulates the
Exactly.
mind.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's play a little golf, but
Yeah.
that's
Do you
about it.
miss it?
Do I miss it? Miss the locker room.
Mm.
No doubt about that.
Why do you miss the lot? What's going on in the locker room? We got to know this. Ladies, we want to know. We want to know, ladies, don't we? What's going on in the locker room?
Well, I mean,
It's
I
just
told her I was gonna
bonding.
ask that.
yeah, it's that bond you
Yeah.
get with the
Yeah.
guys, you know,
Yeah.
just hanging out with the guys in the locker room. And, I mean, you're always competing, especially at the NFL level. I mean, we'll be late to meeting sometime because we done balled up a piece of paper and we're shooting it, you know, in a makeshift hoop or something like that. You know, it's just,
Yeah.
hold on, I can need one more point, you know, before I get to the meeting. It's just, or we're pitching pennies or quarters or something to the wall. You know, it's just, that's the thing about it. When you get to the highest level, you're talking about ultra competitive men.
Mm-hmm.
You put them all in one locker room, you're going to be competing about something every day, all day.
Mm.
Every day. Whether you like it or not,
Oh, that's cool. That's a great perspective.
you're going to be competing.
Yeah.
You know, so you miss that.
Right.
You miss that.
That's good energy.
Yeah. Yeah, real good.
And that's why you play golf.
Yeah.
Because you're competing, you're talking shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm losing most of the time. But still, it's a small resemblance.
Yeah.
A small resemblance of what I got back then.
Yeah.
I got one last question. What was it like playing for Bill Cowher? Legendary coach.
You know, Coach was obviously he was a player's coach.
Mm-hmm.
He was. I had no problems with Coach. I don't think he had many problems with me. There's only one time Coach spit in my face. That he got in my face real close. And you know how he talks.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I'm
The
like,
big jaw.
yeah, I'm like that's not gonna happen again.
Yeah.
Some spit came out of your mouth and close to me. You know,
Yeah.
but Coach was, you know, obviously he had played and, you know, played in the league and all that, you know, but, and obviously we had that connection, you know,
Mhm.
for NC State, but it was never, you know, anything that if I wasn't doing my job, he was gonna still let me play because I went to NC State. That ain't had nothing to do with
Mhm.
it, you know. I still had to produce, but he's just a good person, you know.
Yeah.
He's just good, you know. You want to be around good people.
Mm-hmm.
He was a good person.
Yeah.
You know, you see him now on TV, and he's still a coach.
Yeah.
You know.
Still the same.
Yep.
And you can tell it's genuine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's just who he is.
That's just who he is.
Yeah.
This is who he is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's been so great getting to know you and
Yeah.
getting a chance to sit and talk. And
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Glad I was able to do this.
And we're going to do it again. Once
Sounds
your
like a
son comes in town,
Yeah.
we're going to grill him with questions.
what's it like for your dad to coach you? Shh, Dad. I know, Dad.
Yeah. And then we'll, you know, ask him about what he's up to and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a sharp kid. Young man, brother.
He's got a sharp dad and a great role model.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
And it's really been a pleasure to sit and talk with you and
Yeah.
learn a bit more about who you are and as a person and
Appreciate it.
And
tell
NC
you
State's going to win
quality-
this weekend.
Quality person.
NC State's gonna win this weekend.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the game starts 0-0, right?
I think
so
the
we have
podcast
a
is over,
50-50
y'all.
chance.
I think
That's
the
right.
podcast.
We have
We've
a
already cut.
50-50
When did we cut
chance.
the podcast already?
We have a
50-50.
50-50
It's over.
chance.
Y'all,
The game
it's
starts
over.
0-0.
0-0.
So I bleed red just like all of you guys do. So we're gonna win the game.
Bleed red.
I mean, but our blood is blue, though. I mean, let's get. We're
Red.
gonna go there.
Once it gets life. It's red.
Oh, God. No, that's when you're dead, actually.
That was a good one.
Well, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
It was
I
fun.
appreciate you
It was
guys.
really fun.
Yeah.
Special time.
Thanks,
Yeah.
man.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Love you guys.